All right, quick note, starting to recognize the limitations of this type of environment for teaching play. It's really unfortunate actually, because obviously this is a great space to film in. It looks nice, it's a nice space to have the dogs in, but as the daycare starts to get a little more filled up, dogs like Goose are going to find an interesting cattle dog like the one in the corner, and they're going to be more invested in, hey, what's going on over there, than the play. I think we can build up the play, I'm for certain, we can build up to the play to a point where it's engaging and fun enough for the dog to be fully focused in an environment like this. However, for right now it's just too much, and what I don't want to do is get Goose into a habit of disengaging from the play and having it not be a fun thing for him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a less distracting environment, and I'm going to build up the play from there. Once he's kind of obsessed in that environment, then I'll come back here and build it up in this environment, and then should be able to build it up pretty easily outside. So for right now, that's what the plan of action is going to be, because that started out to be a really great play session, and then he completely disengaged. And the more we practice that, right, the less potent of a reinforcer the play interaction is going to be for him. So that'll be our plan moving forward. And so yeah, you probably won't be seeing too many play session videos. I mean, for specifically dogs like Goose, right? There's a sort of novelty factor. Maybe what I'll do is, and I'm just kind of thinking on camera here, it's fine. Everything's about learning. Maybe I'll kind of let the dog explore the environment a little bit, check out all the other options before I even ask them to come to play. And from there, that's how I'll evaluate whether or not we want to move forward and play in that environment. Because ultimately, if I can keep a dog's engagement in here after all the novelty of there's a new dog in today, after that wears out, if I can get a dog to play in this environment, that's ideal for a lot of things. First, making the play, oh yeah. Making the play take precedent and priority over these things that are around. Because eventually I'll have to get to this type of environment anyways, right? So maybe that's what I'll do. I'll kind of see if I can let the novelty wear off a little bit before I initiate play, and then if I know if it's a difficult environment, I'll try and end it at a proper time before the dog even gets close to losing interest in the game. That way his kind of endurance or enjoyment of the game can grow over time into more difficult environments, more distracting environments, so that I can eventually leverage the play as a reinforcer for his training in those more difficult environments. So I'm going to take Margo out here in a second, do basically the same session that I did with Goose, but I'm going to allow her to kind of sniff around the room for a little bit, and we'll kind of see if that has any impact on how her play session goes. Let her sniff around, realize that, well, there's not that much fun stuff to do because everyone's in their crates, and that's when I'll be right there waiting for her to initiate play. So we'll see how it goes. But again, that's what these videos are for. They're for me to learn and for you guys to learn as well. So, all right, I'm getting tail whipped. One last thing, I'm going to have to blue ball Zuko here, unfortunately, in order to prove a point. But watch Zuko's level of engagement in the play. He's much more addicted to it than Goose. Just watch this here. I'm just going to let him out. It's the same exact environment, and he's never met the new dog either. Alright, that felt really mean to do, but I think it really drives the point home. Zuko is much more interested in the play at this point than Goose is. He's just as skeptical and just as interested and curious as Goose is in new dogs in his environment. However, he's more obsessed with the play. I went over to the new dog's kennel and I presented him with the option of new dog or play. He looked for half a second and then looked back at the item I was holding. So he made his choice pretty clear. Let's see if we can't build up Goose's level of interest and curiosity and enjoyment in the play to the same level as Zuko. Let's see if we can do that over time so that no matter what environment we go into, no matter what sort of novelty is present, he's still going to choose the play every single time, like Zuko does. Super powerful as a reinforcer if that is the case. Alright, the reason I'm doing this portion, I'm going to play with Margo now, but the reason I'm doing this portion in the same video is to see if we can draw some contrast between Goose's play, where he kind of got distracted, and Margo's play. And we have the same environment, we have the same toy actually, and we're going to have the same distractions present with the new dog that she hasn't got the chance to go up and meet. What I'm going to change is obviously the dog. I'm using Margo now, but to be honest, Goose and Margo seem to present similar motivation to play. And I'm also going to change, I'm going to allow Margo, which I didn't allow Goose to do, more chance to explore the environment and see what else there is to offer before we start playing. Because again, adding a few different new dogs in here, which we have today, really changes the likelihood that the dog is going to be interested in the play versus those competing motivators. So let's go ahead and see what Margo looks like. Margo, are you working? Yes. So I'm trying something different here, and I'm ending the play with Margo having the toy. The reason I'm doing this is I want to draw a contrast between her playing with me and then her just running around with the toy. Actually, that session was freaking great. I'll be honest, I'm very happy with it. We've been trying over the last couple of days, last couple of training sessions. I love seeing her come in like that and try and entice me to play. That means we're making progress. But I've been trying the last couple of training sessions to get her to come back with the item. As you saw there, I was kind of just waiting her out, waiting for her to come up to me to initiate the play with the item. Because again, it's not about the item, it's about the play and engagement between her and I. But I was really happy to see there when I laid down, well not laid down, when I kind of sat down, she came up to me and brought the toy to me, wanting to initiate play. And then when I would let her win, which I do a lot, because I'm trying to build her levels of confidence, when I let her win, she still came back and wanted to enjoy the play. So the difference between her and Goose was very stark contrast, but I also allowed her to go over there and investigate the new dog before we did our little play session there. So great to see, and yep, hope you guys enjoyed seeing the difference between those two dogs there in the two different situations, and maybe came up with some ideas how we can handle this differently in the future with Goose.